Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome back. So, as you can see, we are working on our first live edge slab. Got a steal of a price for this. It's a giant piece of pine. Got it for $35 at an estate sale. People didn't know how to price it. They had $35 on there, and so I said, I'll pay you asking. They said, okay. So now we're going to begin the process of getting this ready to be our dining room table. So what I'm getting ready to do now, remove the bark off the sides. Everything I've read says that's going to eventually just fall off anyways. As beautiful as it looks now, it won't stay. So I'll remove that. I got to make a cut. You've seen that kind of damaged in. It looked like the previous owner maybe was working on some routing. So we're going to cut that off, and this is ultimately going to end up being about 48 by 30 roughly. And then we're going to get the sanding. I'm going to go 60, 80, 120, 220. It's going to be a time-consuming process of sanding. I'm not thinking we're going to have to get into any epoxy or resin, anything of that.
And wishful thinking.
The slab itself is pretty solid. It was stored indoors. So I'll film as much as I can to not make it boring, but the real showstopper on this is our actual table mount that the GC made for us. He hand welded it. Might have to get him to explain what it is, but super custom piece that this table is going to be able to swivel to make it easier getting in and out of the banquette area. So we're going to get started on this and yeah, bring y'all along. Alright, so that was a first for me. First couple cuts, I was only able to get, maybe 12 inches in. That's what she said. And then my blade just kept on wanting to come back to me. So what I did is I just adjusted the depth and went halfway through and then followed back up with going all the way through. Made that cut work real easy. So now I'm just gonna pull out the sander. Like I said, we're starting with 60 grit. We're gonna try and get some of those waves out. Yeah, we're cruising now. So we've got a quarter of it done. I'm not sure if this is the actual color, but this is coming through like gray and white, and then this middle part is coming through pink at the very tip here. Hopefully it comes through on camera. But it's coming out to be, I think, a pretty little slab. So yeah, like I say, a lot of sanding, but it's our first like 6 or 10 minutes or so.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Alright y'all, we're back at it. Just sanded over the epoxy. I think it looks pretty good actually, so proud of myself for doing the, I feel like, easy way of my first epoxy. Who knows, maybe we'll dabble more later. But yeah, now it's back to the good old sanding. We are on our 80 grit sheet. Just gonna flip it over, get the bottom side. We got 80, 120, 220. So we're getting close. Get ready for mounting.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how.
Alright y'all, welcome back. Today is Shellac day. So hopefully we shellac it out of the park. Am I right? First things first though, I'm gonna go through, I'm just gonna sand down the corners of the table just because they're a little sharp and I don't want to hurt myself getting out. So we're gonna sand those down real quick and we'll wipe it off, make sure it's pretty clear of dust, and then we'll start our shellacking. We're gonna be using good old shellac here. Do minimum 3 coats. I kind of want to do 4. We'll see what we got. We're working out here in the shop, so that way we don't smoke everybody, or not smoke, but vent everybody out of the house. First time using it, so definitely overly nervous. We'll see how it goes. On a completely different note, I got a little heater for the shop because I didn't want it to be too cold. Then the directions say don't put it near heat. So I got it on cooling. Milani came out and she was like, oh wow, it feels really warm in here, even though the fan was on. So that's our little secret until she's editing. What's up, y'all? So we are picking back up on this table. I think this is real life time, like week 3, maybe 4. But what we're getting ready to do now is prepare our base that the GC built for us. So what we're gonna do is step 1, we gotta wipe down the metal with vinegar just to clean it off. Step 2, we're going to sand it down using 120 grit sandpaper because that's what the internet says. Step 3, we're going to prime it.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can.
Step 4, we're going to paint it. We're just painting it a nice black, so that way it kind of pops against the Dove paint. All right, that is a wrap. While the paint's wet and fresh, it looks good. So we're gonna let that dry, see how it looks. Might apply a second coat if I do that. Won't bother you guys with watching that. Yeah, pretty straightforward process. We'll see how it holds up over time. Got done doing some pretty precise measuring. The old tug and pull. See where we liked it. So yeah, now all we got left to do, screw her in, call her done.
That's the position you normally take when you're working hard.
You're working the hardest. Alright, so in total we did 4 coats of shellac on the top. We did one on the bottom just to seal the underside in. A tip that I found out while doing this, the first coat I did, I went all the way to the edge and brushed out that way, but it gave me some drip over, which I didn't like, and I had the sand pretty hard to work over. Started about 3 or 4 inches in and worked my way to the edge to prevent the drip over. Between each coat, I would sand it down with 220 grit sandpaper, wipe it clean with a clean cloth. In each coat in between, I waited about an hour. Again, real world time, this was like a 4-week or 3-week long project. To you guys, it'll probably be however long this video is. So, really fun though. I mean, this was fun to mess around with Live Edge for the first time. Big shout out again to the GC for putting together our leg here. The ability to do this is an absolute game changer. Yeah, that's it. If y'all have any tips for the shellac on like how to finish it or different ways to apply it, leave it down below. Yeah, we will see y'all next week.